Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the final lesson of section 6. After this, our web application will be complete, and we'll move on to making our secure JSON API using JWT. The final feature we're going to add is a password visibility toggle right next to our clipboard icon. We'll add in a UI component and then wire up a stimulus controller for the functionality. Let's start with our UI button. So back in our main.html.erb file, go to app, views, entries, main. Let's scroll down to our password section. And right above our copy to clipboard button, we can add in another button. Let's give this a couple classes. I'll do btn, btn-outline, -primary, border -0. And then we'll use a bootstrap icon for the content of the button. Let's go ahead and save, and let's check that out in the browser. So going to refresh. Okay, great. Here is our toggle button. Now let's head back into our main.html.erb file and add in the data attributes we need to wire up our controller. For our stimulus controller to access all the elements that we need to place the controller on an element that encompasses the button and the password value. So we can do that on our li tag right up here. So we'll do data-controller equals toggle-password. And again, we have not defined this yet, but we will shortly. Now we can scroll back down to our button, and let's drop this onto another line for readability, and we can add in our action. So we'll do data-action equals, this will be a click event. Now we'll reference our toggle password controller, and then we'll call our toggle function. And again, we have not created these yet. All right, this looks good. Now let's create our toggle password controller. And in JavaScript controllers, let's add a new file, and we will call this toggle_password_controller.js. Okay. Then we need to import controller, and you can tab that to autocomplete it. Then let's define our class, and we'll call this toggle password controller, and this will extend controller, curly brackets, and then we export our default. Now let's create our toggle method and then console a message. We'll do toggle, and we'll just do console.log hello from toggle. And now we need to register our new controller in our index.js file. So let's go ahead and copy this one. Command D to get both of these at the same time, and we'll do toggle password controller. And then in here, we'll do toggle_password, and this will be toggle-password. Let's go ahead and save and check in the browser, and we should see our message. And then if we refresh and inspect, go to the console, when we click the eye icon, we should see our message. Okay, great. This means our controller is wired up perfectly. Now there's one thing I forgot to do in our main.html.erb file is we have to set a target on this input so that we can access the input in our controller. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So back in our main, close that, and up here in our input field, we simply need to add a target. So we can come at the end here and do a data, and we'll do toggle password target, and we can set the value of that to input. Now we can access this input in our controller, and we'll be able to toggle the type of the input. So let's go ahead and start on that now. And we can close this. So let's first set up our static input array so that we can access our input. So we'll do static targets equals input. Now we can come down to our toggle method, and we can check the type of the input and then change the visibility of it accordingly. So let's do if dot input target dot type equals password. We'll then set the input to text. So this dot input target dot type equals text. And then else, we can grab this, and then we'll set this back to password. All right, let's go ahead and save, and let's check it out in the browser. So go ahead and refresh, and if we click on the icon, we should see the toggle. Great, perfect. Now, the final thing I want to do is update the icon depending on the visibility of the password. So if a user can currently see the password, let's change the eye icon to have a slash in it to indicate that clicking it again will hide it. Let's head back into our code. So first, let's add 2 more icons to our icons.js file. So utils, icons. We can go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to name this icon I open icon, and then I'm going to paste in the icon. And then I'll copy this again. I'll do I close. And again, I'll paste in the icon. Save that and we can close. Now at the top of the file, we'll need to import our new icons. So to import, I'll do I open icon and I closed icon. We'll do this from, we'll go out of directory, down to utils, to icons. And then we will give this a little bit of spacing. So now we can pass the event to our method like we've done in the past. And we can come down here and we can do event.current target.inner HTML equals I closed icon. And then we can copy this and then change this to I open icon. Now let's go ahead and save and check it out in the browser. So we go ahead and refresh. Let's click on the toggle. Okay, great. We're seeing the password visibility change and we're seeing the icon update at the same time. This is working perfectly. Awesome work, everyone. So with this, we're done with section 6. We are officially done with the browser portion of our web application. Incredible work, everyone. We have made a ton of progress. We'll now be moving on to our JSON API, where we'll be using JWT or JSON Web Tokens to make it secure. We're going to add it directly to our current application and use the exact same database. So any changes to an entry will immediately be reflected in our JSON API. This will ensure that our Chrome extension is always in sync with our web application. I'm really excited for this section. Let's stay focused, and I'll see you in the next lesson.